Hello guys, and welcome back to the crew Wild Run. Driving all cars, part number 3. Well, I kinda took a step away from the alphabetic order because today this car, the Mx-5, which was the latest summit reward, it was kinda bugged, well not really bugged, someone made a mistake and they only gave us the full stock. That has changed today. So it comes in a street and a performance spec now. I have upgraded them, and so we're gonna have a look what it all does. This is the full stock, as the license plate suggests. Interior is of course pretty neat, seeing it is one of the latest cars that well, probably is the latest cars that is released in this game, but also in real life. So it's one of the newest in this game. I've just haven't driven them yet. I have been messing around in the full stock a bit the last couple of days, but I've just upgraded them to 12.99 here. This is the street spec. Comes with a couple of bumpers that I put on, and 3 different rims, I believe, and 4 or 5 original colors. This being one of them, as mentioned in previous videos. Everything original. I'm using original rims and original colors on all my cars. The interior is well, it's a bit dark, so I guess I'll go for the half white seats, stuff like that. It also has a performance spec. Also here one of the 3 original rims on it. Quickly going over the parts, as you can see, all speed bonus. That's how I buy them, and then I win the rest of the bonuses going along, doing skill tests or whatever. Also here the interior hasn't been changed yet, I think, so it's plain black, maybe some blue seats or something. No, that's the one I need. Yep, kind of fits. We'll go for that. I am kind of hoping, and along with me I think, that at one day they will add another spec here, being the drift spec. One of my favorite cars for the drift is the Mazda RX-7. Works really good. So should be the case that this one in drift spec is also pretty good. But so far only street and performance, or at least and finally a street and performance, because the last couple of days it was only full stock. But I saw a video, or a link to a video on YouTube, suggesting that the street and performance specs were brought into the game today. So when I logged on, it was indeed available. So I upgraded them, and also did the driving all cars tests, being acceleration test on the 1 mile drag race, and then a quick handling and speed test sorta on the little track that I created for that. The full stock, I thought it said 209 or something, but pretty slow here. This is sort of top speed wise Golf GTI or something, I think, if you compare the full stocks, sort of in that region. So I'm don't really expecting one of these specs to be OP. If the full stock is only so, you can't expect miracles from the performance specs or the street spec or whatever. But you never know. There are some exceptions, so we'll take a look. So far we've tested in street spec only the Abarth, and that had a acceleration time of 26.3 seconds in the 1 mile drag race. And that is not the best of the lot, that I know for sure. It has a decent acceleration, the Abarth, but so sorta that's our indicator that we go by here, 26.3 seconds. How does this go? 1 mile drag race, for those who haven't seen the other videos. I have 2 checkpoints, the quarter mile and the half mile, and on the quarter mile I hit the nitro bar. I'm using a full nitro bar there, and then go to the finish. So we'll have a look with the street spec. What does it says? Spinning wheels. That's usually not a good sign. Acceleration. Okay, here we go. Pretty strong NOS. So this is probably gonna be one of those cars that you need to drive playing around with the NOS or the nitro. Acceleration itself seems not that good. It gets a really good boost when you hit the nitro, so 26.9. That's more than half a second slower than the Abarth in street spec on this 1 mile drag. So acceleration already can say that that's only power. We'll do a test here on the little track. Top speed in the Abarth street spec, it's going downhill about 348 something. Yep. Acceleration wise, it's pretty bad. It goes quickly once you hit the nitro, but you not always have nitro available. It has a pretty stiff body chassis, which makes it, well, you probably have to throw it around a bit to make the corners. A bit of understeer if you go slowly in the corner, so you probably have to throw it in. If you touch the nitro, you sort of get a really good boost, but it's also needed because acceleration of the car itself is not that good. The S corner coming up. Pretty decent. Yep. Whoa, 357. That is pretty high for a street spec. So I'm immediately thinking, keep this car in mind if we need to do a speed trap on, let's say, Asian qualifier or something. Might have to do a Skyline versus this one to see the top speed, because this was going towards 360. Pretty well, it reacts pretty quickly, but the body chassis is rather stiff, which makes it a bit tricky to handle. Acceleration of the car itself is not that good, but once you touch the nitro, then it really gets a really good boost. So let's say overall acceleration average, but the top speed, that seemed to be pretty high. It was the end of the road there, but it was easily going to 360 and probably would have gone over there. And that is pretty high for a street spec. If you can the KTM bike limits at 382 under complete slipstream, so this is going to come close, I think, because I didn't have any slipstream. This was just straight forward. Anyway, moving to the performance spec, we had a time of 23 seconds, 23.3 in the Abarth and 24.0 in the 4C. Alfa Romeo 4C, which was the second video I did in this series, so I'm sort of comparing with those two now. Pretty long fifth gear as well, it seems. 24.1. Okay, that is the slowest of the three that I've tested so far. So it's slower than the Abarth and it's slower than the Alfa Romeo 4C, which are all almost sort of middle of the ranking if you compare all performance specs. So already from the acceleration tests, I can almost say that the best spec out of these two is probably the street one. Especially because of the high speed. I was kind of surprised with the high speed there. So might be something I need to test in PvP on a track which has pretty long straights. Something like Sprint to St. Louis, something like that, which is a street race. Reacts pretty quickly, although this one is a bit well, more sportive body kit, it seems. Street pick was pretty stiff. This one is well, you can throw this one around more, let's put it that way. Yep. So the performance spec, well, just by the first go here, seems to be more fun, but the street spec is probably more effective if you gonna do races with it or something. Let's see with the S corner here, pretty smooth. Yep, pretty smooth. There's a little bump in that S corner, so we're always gonna get a little nudge there, but let's see, top speed wise, kind of sticks in 5th gear. It's one of those cars that you sort of have to push the nitro to get it in 6th, and then it keeps going. 389. Kinda limited at 389, unless it has a 7 gear. No. Big top speed in the street spec, not as good in the performance spec, that's for sure. But this one is, well, it's a little more at ease if you throw him around. It's not as stiff as a street spec, it seems. In comparison with my other videos, well, this is brand new, so I can't say I have like miles or kilometers experience with it. So I'm just going by my hunch and gut feeling here. This one is fun to drive. Probably fun to drive in free drive and keep it there. To play around with, have some fun. This one is the way to go, I think. If you really want to go racing, then I'm guessing, although it is a bit stiff in handling, but the street spec might be pretty good. Seeing it is, or has a really good top speed we just established here. So, driving our cars, part number 3. That was sorta it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.